My guess is very clear that the markets are looking at the forthcoming vote on account, where possibly despite being a vote on account, I think the government would be spelling out very clear-cut policies on the railway infrastructure kind of investment strategy. I think already the railway minister, Mr. Vaishnav, has already clearly hinted that the government is planning a massive infrastructure kind of budget program, and that is driving all these companies. If you look at RVNL, Texmaco Rail, if you look at rights, I think everything connected with railways and railway infra is going up. So I think definitely there's a sense of little euphoria in the current prices. But I think markets are discounting that possibly another 2 lakh crores worth of infrastructure investments in railway would be announced in the vote on account. And once the new government comes in, these could completely be actually be finally certified by the new government. So I think that is what is driving these stock prices quite, in a very sharp manner. My suggestion to investors is that there's no need to hurry, but yes, considering the fact that there are limited choices available here, obviously anything connected with railways and obviously with the sentiment factor largely aided because of the 22nd Jan Ram Mandir opening issue, the markets is definitely looking at some further upside in the near term. I think markets have completely forgotten the HDFC Bank fiasco, and I think it's again back to normal market. So I think clearly railway is now a well-known theme. I would be quite positive on the sector in the longer term, but yes, in the short term, Agam, I think these prices definitely seem to be slightly fair to expensive, and I think only on declines one could definitely generate reasonably risk reward going forward. I think my guess is, despite the leadership overhang, Agam, I think in terms of the stock outperformance, the last 2 years, you're absolutely right in saying that Kotak Bank has actually not delivered any great return at all. So I think markets are looking at more stronger data points, stronger management commentary, and obviously, I mean, in the current scenario, most of the analysts who are looking at banks are looking at the deposit growth kind of trajectory. Any slowdown there, I think, is definitely not a good sign. And I think the kind of dream run which other banks had got in the last 2 years, I think Kotak Bank had completely ignored this rally. So I think if numbers have been better, if the commentary going forward is also going to be positive, I believe the con call will be there very soon for Kotak Bank. Whatever commentary comes out from the new management team and the kind of aggressive growth lined up by them, both on the on the private sector funding as well as typically on fee-based activities, because Kotak Bank has got a large investment banking unit, a broking unit, a AMC unit. So I think the markets are quite positive on the fact that all these units are now doing pretty well, and that could obviously collectively produce better numbers in the coming year, that is FY25. So all said and done, the stock looks attractive from a long-term point of view, but mind you, it's a slow mover, so you'll have to exercise a lot of patience before you see a decent risk reward. No, I think my sense is that looking at IDBI Bank numbers, I think this is one bank which has surprised the entire analyst community, and I think numbers have been very robust. So I would prefer that, unlike looking at say a Kotak Bank or maybe a HDFC Bank. In fact, Kotak has delivered inline numbers, but numbers from IDBI Bank have been strikingly better in terms of both the asset quality, in terms of the loan book growth. So I think IDBI Bank at these levels looks attractive. My sense is that some news commentary on the decision to take in a strategic investor, which has been pending for long, if that commentary comes out very clearly from the management, I think that would be a key re-rating trigger for the stock. So IDBI Bank would be more attractive, from a medium to long term view. I think there's a lot of steam left in the stock if one were to look at the next say 12 to 18 months. So I think this stock looks much better. I would not immediately try to buy into either HDFC Bank or Kotak Bank, because these are going to be largely market performers according to. As far as ICICI Bank is concerned, see, I think their margins would continue to be protected because they have a large exposure on the retail side, on the SME book side. And I think most of the subsidiaries, if you leave alone ICICI Pru, I think most of their other subsidiaries have also done well. So I believe on a consolidated entity, profitability should be good. I would be observing, what is the deposit growth rate number, because that is going to be a key element. And I think overall, what is the management commentary on the growth outlook, on the loan book growth, for the coming, year. And most importantly, what is the kind of fee-based activity which they are planning to, do. So I think all said and done, I don't expect any major negative surprise. Provisions, I think, would also be a number where I would like to observe, because after HDFC Bank, Kotak Bank also reported a large spike in its provision number. So I think I'll like to look at the provision number, the growth outlook in terms of the disbursements, the deposits, and obviously, in terms of the new kind of any scope for any margin kind of improvement. I think that would be key data points possibly which would like to know once the company does its con call, and the management shares its commentary for the coming year.